Welcome to the Roulette Master TV, where we go back in time to reveal unbelievable roulette systems of the past. Today's system, the name of it is I'm going to use this to win tons of cash tonight, and I hope you enjoy this one. Let's get started. This is the Roulette Master, and I'm so excited about today's video because not only am I going to share with you the strategy I'm using to win in the casino this week, but also I'm going to share with you an unbelievable new strategy by one of my subscribers, Greg, and this is called 2 Steps to Riches, and we're going to get to that here pretty soon, but first I want to share with you how I've been winning in the casino this week, and let's go ahead and get started. This is a version of 5 double streets, and I absolutely love it. So we're going to start with $10 on 5 double streets. And I've been playing this one with a live dealer this week, and it doesn't matter where you put them as long as there's just 5. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. This is a $50 starting bet, and here we go. That's a 21 red. Okay, that's a $10 win. You can also play this on the automated with the strategy I shared with you how my wife were doing that a few days ago, and I think you're going to absolutely love that as well. So we're up $10. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And if you haven't seen that video, make sure you get back and watch it because that absolutely works, playing team roulette on automated machines so that you can increase your coverage. And that is a win there. We're up $20. And let's go ahead and spin. And here we go again. The key is in the recovery, and here we go. All right, I'm also going to give you some other options for how much to bet on this. Most tables have a $10 minimum, so you could actually do $5 on these, and I'll share with you the bankrolls for both today. Okay, we had our first loss, which takes us to minus 30. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to triple the bet. We're going to go from 10 to 30. Let me fix that one there. Okay. Whoops, let me fix that. Okay, now we're at $150 total bet. And I know that seems a little crazy to triple the bet right away, but with 30 numbers, you're going to probably get a win most of the time. And then when you win, you don't go back to the start. What you do is you go back a step. So you don't go back a step. You go to what it would have been doubled. So instead of 3, we're going to have 2. So let's go ahead and do that. That's a better way of saying it. Here we go. So we're not going back a step because that was the first step, right? We're just going back to a double instead of a triple. So now let's go ahead and spin with a $100 total bet. And here we go. Okay, that's a 28 black. And that's a win. And if you win with the triple and the double, you go back to the start. Now we're up $20. So now we go back to 5 double streets. And again, you can move them around. In fact, we can skip whichever one we want. In fact, if you want to skip the one that hit last, that works as well. So if we go ahead and do that, we could go ahead and do it just like this. Leave out that 28th street and the 25 and do it this way. And I definitely do that sometimes while I'm playing as well. And let's go ahead and spin. We're back at base level of $50, and here we go. That's a 32 red. And that's a nice win. We're at $30 now. Let's just go ahead and rebet and spin. And if you want to continue with that strategy, you can also just take this one off right here and add one here, and you'll leave out the double street that hit last right there. And let's go ahead now. And I have one too many on there, though. Let me make sure we just have 50. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. There should be 5 double streets with 10 each on there. And I'm not sure why it says 60, but that's a $50 bet. Occasionally, Roulette Royale does that, but it still bets the correct amount. And that's a 26 black, and that's a $10 win. So now we're at $40, and let's go ahead and leave that last, the 26 out this time. So here we go. And you can do this, or you can leave them in the same spot. It really doesn't matter. The key is the progression on this. We're going to be tripling and then going back to a double if we win, and then resetting. That's a 25 red. Okay, and it hit back to back, and that happens sometimes. So again, a lot of times you can just leave them in one spot as well. You don't have to move them around. But since we did lose there, we're going to go to 30 on each. And let's do that. And spin, 150 total bet, and here we go. Okay, that's a 21 red. Okay, so now we go back to the double, not the triple. So we're up 20, and we go back a double. So that means we're going to have $20 on each, and that's times 5 is 100. So now there's $20 instead of $30. You basically just go back from a triple to a double. And here we go. That's an 18 red. And that's a win. So now we're up $40. So let's start over. And I know we don't have a ton of profit yet, but that's okay because, and let's go ahead and add these again here. I'll tell you why. It's okay because we're going to have so many wins with this. At this point, we've just had way more losses than normal, but when you cover 30 numbers, you're going to have so many $10 wins in a row at times, and don't worry, the profits are going to get up there. I've seen it all week long. So let's go ahead and we'll continue to take out the one that hit last just because I think that is a good way to play, even though it backfired on us that last time. Let's continue with it, and I think it'll work well for us. Here we go. That's a 0. We definitely lost that one, so we're going to be tripling that bet. So the 10s are going to go to 30, and then if we win, we'll go to 20. Okay. And let's go ahead and spin it. 150 total bet. And here we go. It's a great way to play roulette. And the key is to start small with the bets and have a good sized bankroll, which we'll go over here shortly. And you can see we were at 30 and we won, so we go back to 20. So let's do that. So we'll drop back to 20 on each. And then we'll spin. Here we go. That's an 8 black. Okay, we got the win, so we restart. Now we're up $50, and we'll go back to where we started, and hopefully we'll have less losses this time. So let's add them out there, and we'll skip the one with the 8 in it this time. And I mean, sometimes you get 10, 20 wins in a row with this, and then the profits really skyrocket. We just haven't done that yet, but we're going to be patient. I think that'll happen for us. We're up 60. Let's just rebet and spin. But let's go ahead and move that one, take that last one out again. We've been doing that. Let's keep that up. But again, you don't have to. You can leave them in the same spot if you want. And here we go. I've won a lot doing it both ways, and that's a 5 red. Okay, that's a win. So we're up 70. So we'll take out that 5 this time. And let's put it back in over there on the end there on 31, 34. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. That's a 3 red. And we lost. Man, we've had a lot of losses, but it's okay. We're going to go from 10 to 30. Let's do that, and we'll leave the bets where they're at for now. Let's go ahead and spin it. Really doesn't matter. The odds are the same on all of them, but sometimes it feels good to leave out the one that hit last, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the key is in the progression, and we won that one. So let's go from 30 back to 20. So you can see each one of these is going back to 20. And then once we get a win, we start over. So let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 9 red. And there's a nice win. So now we're up $70. And we'll go ahead and put 5 more double streets out there. And part of the time we'll just leave them in one spot. But I'll share with you both ways and see which way you like it best. But again, the key is in the progression and how much we're betting and how much we're reducing. That's a nice win there. We are up $80 now. So it's starting to pay off. And let's see, we'll take that 16 out there. Let's put it in over here and spin. And then we'll do a few where we just leave it in one spot. That's a 27 red. And that's a win. So we're up 90. Let's just leave them in one spot for a little bit here. And spin. Again, it works both ways. The key is in the progression and how much you're betting and then how much you're reducing when you get a win. And that is a win there. We're up $100. So let's just rebet and spin. And let's see what we get here with 5 double streets. Tripling, then doubling, and not doubling from the triple, but going back to a double and then restarting. We just lost again. So we'll go from 10 to 30. So we start by tripling. And then we go back to a double once we get a win on the triple. Now, if we lose on the triple, we'll need to triple again. So that's a 35 black. But we got the win, so we go from the triple back to a double. So again, we just go back to 100. I was trying to show it bet by bet, but basically we just went from 30 on each to 20 each there. And then let's go ahead and spin again. And then if we were to lose right here, we would triple the current bet we have of 20. So it'd be at 60. But we got the win. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a loss. What happened there? I don't think the bets got put back out there right there, guys. So it's better to take them off this way. Let's go ahead and to get back there, we're going to have to put them back up there again. So if you reduce it where it says clear, sometimes they don't come off the same way. So let's go back to we were at 10 and then we went to 30 each, which was 90. And let's make sure that's right. Let's go back to 30 each at 150 and spin, just because we lost that one because the bets weren't out there, right? And if you make a mistake when you're playing roulette, then you know, don't worry about it. Just get right back on the board. And this is actually good because you're going to get to see us have to triple again here. So we're at 30, and then we went to 60 and then 90. So be careful when you take the bets off with the clear. It's better to take them off with the X over here. Okay, so we went from 30 to 90. That's tripling. Now we're at 440 total bet. This is a $2,000 bankroll for this version of this, but you could also do a $200 bankroll for dollar units, or with $5 units, you could use a $1,000 bankroll. Okay, that's a $40 win. So let's go back a double now, and we would go, we're going to take them off the right way this time. We went from 30 to 90, so 30 doubled would be 60. So let's get those back to 60. And we should be up right now. That was just a betting error while we're down, so let's get it back up again. All right, and you're going to love the new system of the day. I can't wait to get to that. Let's go ahead and get a win here and get back on track here. That's a 15 black. Okay, that's a win, and we're minus 10 because of that betting error. So let's go ahead and instead of going all the way back to the beginning, let's just try to get another win here to make up for that error. That's a 24 black. At least we reduced the bet before we did that. Now we're up 50. So now let's go ahead and restart now that we're back in profit, and try not to make any more stupid mistakes like that. You don't have to worry about that when you're playing with a live dealer, but when you're testing strategies, if you take it off with the clear button, sometimes they don't come off the right way. So let's go ahead and spin again here, and here we go. But I've been so I was using this also when we were doing the automated roulette with two people, but the last day or so I've been back with the live dealer, just going ahead and doing it that way as well. So okay, we won that one. We're up $60. Let's just rebet and spin, and here we go. Either way, this is just a great strategy, tripling and then going back to a double, and we're up 70 right now. Again, we should be up more than this, but that's okay. I think you guys are getting the idea. And the idea is that you triple when you lose, and then you go back to a double of what that bet was. So if the bet was, if you were at 15 on each, and then you tripled, then you would go to 45, and then if you won, you'd go back to 30. So it would depend on what level you're on. But you go from a triple back to a double, and we just lost that one. So we're going to increase again from 10 to 30, and then again, this goes back to 20 if we win. So, and then if we lose, the 30 goes to 90. It triples up. So here we go. That's a 1 red. And we won. So then you go back to a double, which means you're actually going down in the bets. And we'll go from 30 back to 20. Okay. Now we're at $100 total bet. And here we go. That's an 11 black. And that's a $20 win there. We're up 70. And now we can go back to the start. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll be back to 50 and spin. And here we go. That's a double zero. We don't like that, but we triple the bet. But I'm glad with all these losses, you guys are getting to see how this progression works. And again, this is a $2,000 bankroll for $10 units, a $1,000 bankroll for $5 units, $200 bankroll for dollar units. And whatever fits your budget the best is what you should do. We're at 150 total bet now. And I know tripling seems excessive, but when you have this many numbers, you're not going to usually lose that many in a row. It can happen, but it doesn't happen that often. So that's why now we're going to go from the triple back to the double. And again, if you're at the next level, that would change. You still would go triple double though. But for instance, if you were at 15 instead of 5 on each when you started, you'd go to 45 and back to 30. We started at 10, then we went to 30, and then back to 20, which gives us a $100 total bet here. And this will be our last spin with 5 double streets. That's a 19 red. And there we go. So now we're back up 70. We should be back up about 130, 140. But even with all those losses, but I did make an error earlier. And if you guys make a mistake, it's okay. Just get back on board and just try to get back to what you were doing. Don't change everything just because of that. So just try to put it in the past, move forward, and make some money. I hope you like this one, though. It's been working really well for me in the casino. Again, you can also do this with teams, like I was telling you guys the other day. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. And the reason for that is because you can't bet more than 25 numbers on most automated machines. So by having more numbers than that, you need 2 people to bet on 2 separate machines. Because you're both using the same wheel. So it works. You just have to, have somebody next to you that knows what they're doing, or a very simple instructions on what to do, whether to double, stay the same, or restart. And now, though, it is time for the new roulette system of the day. I can't wait to get to that. And that's going to be a really, really good one, I think. Let's jump right in there and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the incredible new 2 steps to riches. Let's place the bets, and I'll share with you how to use this strategy to win in the casino. We're going to be starting with betting on the last 2 dozens to hit, third 12 and first 12 for 10 each. You can see we have a 0 balance. That's a $20 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. That's a 19 red. We lost the first one, so instead of 10 each, we're going to go to 20 each now. There's a lot more to this than that. We're going to put 20 each on second and third 12, the last 2 to hit, and here we go. And we lost again right out of the gate, 2 losses. But, it's good to see a little adversity every once in a while. So let's go ahead, and instead of 20, now we'll have 30 on each. That's first 12 and second 12, and let's go ahead and spin. Let's get luck on our side here. It's been not on our side the first couple spins. There we go. It's finally a win with a 2 black. We're going to take half of what we win. So we're going to take, we won $30. So we're going to take 15. And we're going to put it on 2 double streets. Not in the one that hit last, but the other one. So we'll put 15 and 15 out there. And let's go ahead and spin. That's a $90 total bet. And here we go. That's a 21 red. And that's a $90 win. Look at that. Now we're up $60. How about that? So now we go back to where we started in level 1. And we'll be on second 12 and first 12. And let's go ahead and spin again here. And let's see what we get. That's a 14 red. That's a win. So we take half of what we won, which was 10. And then we put 5 on each of 2 double streets. Not the one that hit last, but the other one. And let's go ahead and spin. And the really cool thing about this is what happens if it hits the dozen that you didn't bet on, or that you bet less on. That'd be a good way of putting it. We'll get to that here in a second, but that's another nice win. Now we're up $100 already. So how about that? So now we'll be on first 12 and second 12, back to level 1, and let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. And that's a 20 black. That should be a win. So we take half of what we won, which are $5 units. And then we put it not on the one that hit last, but the other one. We put it on 2 double streets. And let's go ahead and spin. Let's see if we can get a low number here, or a mid number would be fine. But we didn't win either one. We lost. So now we need to go back to level 1 and go up a unit. So we'll go from 10 to 20. So let's do that. And we'll be on third 12 and second 12. And we're currently still up $80. And this is a $40 total bet, 20 on each. Okay, that's a 21 red. Okay, we won 20, so we take half of that, which is 10, and we don't put it on the 12 that hit last. We put it on the other one on both double streets. And let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. And that's a good win, 33 black. All right, now we're up $160. Fantastic. Now we'll be on third 12 and second 12. Let's go ahead and spin. And this is 2 steps to riches, and that is an 18 red. Fantastic. We won, so we take half of what we won, which was 10. I'm sorry, we won 10. Half of what we won is 5. And we put that not on the one that hit last, but the 2 double streets in the other one. And let's go ahead and spin. And I can't wait to share with you what happens when you hit the one you bet on. That's not the one that has the most money on it. But we'll get to that here in a second. But we lost, so we got to go up. And that means we go from 10 on each to 20 on each. And let's use $10 units for that. And we'll be on first 12 and second 12 for 20 each, 40 total. So every time you lose, you just go back to step 1 and you go up a unit. That's a 12 red. That should be a win. We won 20, so we take 10 and we put it on not the one that hit last, but the other 2 double streets. And let's go ahead and spin. And let's see what we get here. Okay, and this is what I was telling you guys about. If you hit the other dozen, you break even. So you didn't lose a thing. And if that happens, all you do is you just rebet and you spin again. So let's do that. And remember, we started at 20 each because we went up 1. That's a 28 black, and we lost again. So instead of 20 each, we're going to go to 30 each now. And let's see, we're up 100. And we'll be at 30 each on third 12 and first 12. Okay, let's go ahead and spin, and let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 31 black. That should be a win. Okay, so we take half of what we won, which was half of 30 is 15. And we'll put that on each one of the double streets, not the one we hit last, but the other one. Just like that, and spin. And if we hit third 12, we'll break even. If we hit first 12, we'll win. All right, that's a 33 black. That's a break even, and that's okay. Then all we do in that case is we just rebet and spin again, and let's see if we can get a low number here before we get a mid. Oh, just as I said it, we lost. So we go back to level 1. Instead of $30, we're going to have $40. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll be on second 12 for 40, third 12 for 40. And we don't write it out. We're up 40 right now, betting 80 here, and you just reset to level 1 and increase. Okay, so that's a 14 red. We won, so we take half of what we won, which is 20, and then we put that on 2 double streets, not the one we hit last, but the other one. And then let's go ahead and spin, and let's see if we can get a high number here. All right, and we did. That's a 31 black. Fantastic. So that's a $120 win. Now we're up $200. How about that? So now we'll be on third 12 and second 12. Let's go ahead and spin, and let's see what we get here. That's a 0. We definitely lost that one, so we go up a unit. And if you hit 0, they stay in the same spot. They just go from 10 to 20 and spin. And here we go. That's a 30 red. That should be a win. So we'll take half of what we won of the 20, and we'll put it on 2 double streets, not in the one that hit last, but the other one. And let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 36 red. Oh, we lost that one. I think I put the wrong amount on that one, guys. Sorry about that. I should have put, instead of putting, that should have been a break even. So I put too much on there. That should have been 10 each on each of those, not 20 each. So let's just repeat that bet and spin again. That's a 28 black. And see, that's what we should have bet. And so we shouldn't have lost that last one, but we're just going to rebet and spin again. But it took a little bit of a toll, but we're still up $180. And let's go ahead and spin again. Here we go. That's a 20 black. That's a nice $60 win. Now we're up $240. Okay, so we'll be on second 12 and third 12 now, back to level 1. And let's go ahead and spin. That's a 28 black. Okay, we won, so we'll take half of what we won, which is 5. And we'll put it on, not the dozen that hit last, but the other one on both double streets. And let's go ahead and spin. All right, so far so good. Let's keep this rolling. And I think we lost that one completely. That is a loss there. You can see we were at 10 each, so we go to 20 each. And we'll be on, let's use $10 units for that. And we'll be at 20 on first 12, 20 on third 12, $40 total. And we're back to level 1. So you don't continue losing if you're, if you have a bad loss, you just reset to level 1 and go up a unit. That's a $20 win there. So we take half of that and we put 10 on 2 double streets, not in the one that hit last, but the other one. And let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. That's a 26 black. Okay, that's a break even. So again, we just rebet and spin. And the goal is to hit the first 12 before we hit the second. And if we hit the third, we'll break even. And we got it. That's a 4 black. Okay, so that's a $60 win. We're up $300 now, and we'll be on first and third for 10 each. So when you get the second step, you restart, and that's a 23 red. Okay, we lost, so we go from 10 to 20, up a unit, and we'll be on first and second this time. Betting on the last 2 that hit, and so far so good with this one. That's a 4 black, and that should be a win. So we'll take half of that $20 that we won, and we put 10 on, not on the first 12 that hit last, but the other one, 10 each, and let's spin. So here we go. That's a 12 red. That's a break even, so we just rebet and spin, and we're trying to hit the second 12 before we hit the third 12. And it's okay if it hits the first. And that's a 14 red. All right, that's a $60 win. Now we're up $360. We'll be on second 12 and then first 12. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 12 red. A nice win there. So we'll take half of that money we won there. And we'll put it on not the one that hit last, but the other one. 4 or 5 each, and let's spin. And the goal is to hit second before third. I think we did. That's a 19 red. And it's okay if we hit the other one that we're betting on. It just breaks even. We're up $400. So now we'll be on second 12 and first 12 for 10 each. And let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. There we go. That's a 13 black. Fantastic. And we won 10. So we put 5 on 2 double streets, not in the one that hit last, but the other 2. And we're trying to hit first before third. And if we hit second, it's fine. Okay, so second's just fine. It just breaks even. So we just rebet and spin. And the worst thing that can happen with this system is to hit a lot of zeros. But we just hope that won't happen with this system. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Okay, we hit there, and that's a nice $30 win. We're at $440, and we go back to step 1, and we'll be on first and second for 10 each. And here we go. Okay, that's a 1 red. That's a nice win. So we'll take half of 10, which is 5, and we won't bet on the last one. We'll put it on the other one on both double streets. And here we go. Okay, that's a 23 red. All right, that's a $30 win. We're at $480, and we'll be on first and second for 10 each, and let's spin. Man, this is working fantastic. That's a 20 black. Okay, we won 10, so we put $5 units, not on the second 12 that hit last, but the other one on the double streets. And let's spin, and we're trying to hit first before third. Okay, and that's okay. That's a break even. So we're trying to hit the first before we hit the third, and second 12 is just fine. We just rebet. Stay away from the high numbers. And there we go. That's a 3 red. All right, that's a $30 win. Now we're at $520. Wow. Now we'll be on first and second, and let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 29 black, and we lost. So we'll just go up a unit, but we'll need to move those bets. So we'll go to 20 each on third 12 and first 12. And let's go ahead and spin. Again, if you lose in step 2, you go back to step 1 and go up a unit. That's a 11 black there. It's a nice $20 win. So we take half of that, which is $10 units. And we'll put 2 of those, not on first 12 that just hit, but on the other one. And spin. And we're trying to hit third before second. And we lost that one. So we go back to step 1. Okay, so first we see where we were at. We were at 20, so we go to 30 each, and we go back to step 1. So we'll have 30 on second 12, 30 on first 12, and we're at $460. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 31 black, and that's a loss. So we were at 30 each. We'll go to 40 each. So now we'll be on third 12 and second 12. Oh, another thing I need to tell you guys about this, and let's see, third and second, and let's go ahead and spin. The reason I had to actually start over when I first started this one, it's because I didn't realize you have to play this one with European for it to break even. So you should know that as well, and that's how he sent it in. So we're at $440, and you can see we won 40 there. We're going back to second and third. And let's go ahead and spin. You can still use it on American, but it's not going to break even when you hit the other bet. So let's go ahead and spin on second and third for 10 each. And here we go. But I need to let you know that because I started out using American and it didn't break even. That's why I had to restart because I realized I'm not playing this right. And we're at $450. And we'll be on, see, second and third for 10 each. Actually, I'm sorry. We won... No, we would go to step 2 now, but we just ran out of time. Okay, so we made $450 profit in 15 minutes with this incredible new system. Let me know if you guys like it or if you think you could make it better. That's what this channel is all about, and I love you guys sending systems in like this. Please send it to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. Pick a new one every single day of the week, 365 days of the year, in the search for the best roulette system possible each and every day. And if you're enjoying that search with me, please like, share, and subscribe so we can grow this amazing community of people that love roulette. And this is the Roulette Master. And have a great day, everyone.